one of the directors. I'm one of the directors at ATBN. And today we're going to spend an hour and a half together. We'll have quick introductions that I'm going to run through. And then I'm very excited to have our speaker today, Francine Belay, who is the founder and digital strategist of Nucleus of Change. I've known Francine for a few years, and she's really one of those people who is at the top of her game when it comes to digital marketing, digital strategy, online branding, and I'm so excited that she has agreed to come today to share some of the tips from her, very long career in the space, and particularly bringing this perspective on the age of AI. We've all seen on LinkedIn and our social media platforms, people saying, oh, you can use AI for this, you can use ChatGPT for this, and maybe you're wondering, what's all this about? How is it relevant to me? How is it relevant to my organization? How can I leverage this? We'll then have a Q&A with Francine to answer any questions you may have, and then we shall close. So a very quick introduction about ATBN, who are we're organizing, co-organizing this session. We are a social impact and delivery organization working towards inclusive digital transformation in Africa. Our work is across 3 pillars. One is gender, so really looking at promoting gender inclusion within the digital economy, how innovation can be used to promote gender equality, and particularly empowering women's participation within the digital innovation ecosystem. Second is ecosystem building. So we really see ourselves as connectors, researchers working towards building locally led and sustainable innovation ecosystems in Africa. We really believe in the power of innovation to drive positive social change, to drive sustainable development. And we know that these are underpinned by having the right support structures and ecosystems to drive the innovation forward. And lastly, we look at trans-continental partnerships, particularly within Europe, between Europe and Africa. We work to connect and facilitate sessions like this, bringing together actors across the continent and also across Europe and Africa to share knowledge and collaborate around innovation. We work with partners. This is very core to what we do, collaboration. And actually that leads me to our current session today is organized as part of a project and consortium we are part of called the AfriConEU. AfriConEU is the first continental networking academy bringing together African and European digital innovation hub leaders. These are people who are working to support entrepreneurs and startups, who are working in skills development, who are policy advocates. So it's about bringing the actors in between the 2 innovation ecosystems together to learn, share knowledge, and accelerate collaboration. We started out by doing a research to understand where the needs were and capacity gaps were around digital innovation hubs. And this session that we're running today are some of the sessions that came out of that research in terms of where the gaps and knowledge was needed. Our goal ultimately is to really unlock and support digital innovation hub leaders to drive innovation in their ecosystems. We do this through knowledge and experience sharing, building partnerships. We have events, we have networking opportunities, and also we want to see the creation of collective projects. So for example, we're going to be hosting innovation boot camps in Uganda, Tanzania in July, next month actually, and then in Nigeria and Ghana in September. So really we want to bring actors together to actually come up with concrete projects together. We are a consortium of 11 organizations across Europe, 7 in Europe and 4 in Africa leading this. All the sessions, including today's, are absolutely free to attend. You can go in and you just need to register. Also, if you missed any sessions, you can go on our website under Networking Academy Capacity Building, and you'll be able to access all the recordings of various previous events and masterclasses, from topics including finance, raising finance, to marketing, to social impact and measuring impact, monitoring and evaluation, etc. There's lots of good stuff on there. Once you finish your attendance, and we will ask you to fill out a feedback form at the end. And once you fill out that feedback form, in a couple of weeks, you will receive a certificate of attendance. And also your email, once you submit your form, will be entered for an opportunity, a chance to win some gift tokens from us as well. So I already said how excited I was to have Francine speaking today. She is a true leader, expert in the digital strategy space. I have been following her career. She's published 2 books. She's published a chapter in a very prestigious academic journal, to publishing her own book. And she's really one of those people who is about empowering individuals and supporting people up. Just when I'd set up ATBN, Francine, actually, we collaborated, and she helped me in helping to establish the brand of ATBN through some of her work. So I'm very, very excited to have her speaking to us today. And Francine, I will hand over the floor to you to do a more detailed introduction about yourself, because I'm sure I'm not going to be able to do it justice. So I will stop sharing my screen now and welcome Francine to the stage. Thank you very much. Francine, over to you. Oh, hold on. I think she seems to have gotten kicked out for a bit, so just have her rejoin. Hi, Francine. I'd actually just handed over to you, and then I realized you were not in the room.
It was you, actually. I was just wondering, you were kind of breaking it up. What's going on? And then that was me, actually. So just a sec, I'll just be connecting, and then I will. Okay, so you have disabled then the participant screen sharing. If you can allow me now.
Yes, now you should have.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's check.
Also, everyone, if you could just type in the chat where you're joining from, and anything that's making you happy and that you're looking forward to or grateful for today, that would be nice. I love these sessions because we get people joining from all different parts of Africa and different parts of the world. Sometimes I'm amazed about some of the countries that join us. So yeah, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, and yeah.
Wonderful. Can you see my slides now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I have got another backup connection, so that should be normally get going. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I don't know actually what you've said about me, but that's so totally fun. And welcome to everybody to today's webinar. And this is digital marketing in the age of AI. So I should even add for purpose-driven leaders. So I hope that you are all purpose-driven leaders there, because in today's fast-paced and digitally connected world, digital tools and digital marketing specifically has becoming a crucial aspect of success for you as a business leader, and capturing the audience attention and providing these valuable insights are really, really crucial to stand out. So here is our agenda for today. So I'm going to share with you the high-level overview of digital marketing landscape and how to select the right digital tools to achieve your objectives. And then I'm going to tell you about one of the fastest way that you can build trust in your organization. And then also how you can leverage AI. I heard about that when Eunice was talking about AI earlier, to really create quality.
We seem to have lost Francine again. Okay, apologies while we wait for her to reconnect.
What's going on? Did you mute me?
No, you just froze. Do you want to
Oh,
try maybe leaving your video off? That might
yeah.
be better.
So I put the video on now. So normally this should not have happened because I'm on a fast connection. Let me double check something.
No worries.
I'm going to pause one of perhaps my app that may be taking quite a lot of bandwidth. Okay. Can you still see my screen now? I have to reshare it. Okay, yeah, I was here. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, let me move this thing here. Okay, yes, I was saying that as purpose-driven leaders, we are really good at what we do, but we put our souls and hard work into, impacting others. But what I see many people struggling is that many people don't know who you are and why they should buy from you. So really understanding some of the key aspects of digital marketing and how you can really put yourself out there, both your business and yourself, is really going to be key. And stop chasing opportunities and every single time, but instead attracting them. So this is actually why I love saying that we need to move now to becoming a spectator, what I call spectator, because now in the digital age and in the AI age, we have powerful tools that we can no longer remain passive spectators, and we have to actually move beyond being a spectator to becoming actually what I call a player, and take control of our business, our own objectives, and drive that forward. So even if you are an employee as well, I don't know if there are some employees also in the webinar today, it also is for you. So because when you are a spectator, you are just watching things happening, but as soon as you become player, you start to really attract and become an active player. And this is what the digital age is all about. This is what the AI age is all about, is to become player, to be on the stage now. And once you are on the stage, there are something that you can do that you can't do when you are just a spectator. So we need first thing first key idea is to move from being a spectator, chasing opportunity, to now becoming a player in this digital age. So let me tell you quickly a bit about my journey and experience in building my brand, and why I'm so passionate also about helping others. I come from the corporate world. To start, I had a multidisciplinary background. I was working with a lot of big companies in IT, in project, in change management, in training, in accountancy, finance, and all those kind of left hard core skills. And back in 2007, I just walked out of my corporate job in the city of London because I was earning quite well, of course, when you're in the city, but I didn't feel that I was making that much difference. So I'm sure that if you are perhaps an entrepreneur here and come from also a corporate background, you understand exactly what I'm saying. I had this money, but I didn't have much meaning. Whilst I was grateful for everything that I had, I wanted to make a difference. I decided then to start my own business, Nucleus of Change, and decided to work with smaller business owners because I wanted to see the difference I was making as quickly as possible. But there was something that happened that I didn't know that, I had the skills that I need, but I didn't know how to market myself and how to sell myself. So coming from a corporate background, when you have all the resources, suddenly you find yourself without the penny and have to grab, every client as you can. So this is where I decided that now I need to be serious about knowing how to market myself. And I learned the tools. I took a lot of money to do that. I took a lot of time, and I trained with some of the best marketers out there to really understand what what you need to really build your visibility out there online, both for your business and yourself. So now I started to have both meaning and money. And then it was quite a long journey of tribulation. I will not tell you, I will not, I'll be honest with you. It was quite a long journey of self-discovery as well. And to get where I am today. And this is the reason why I'm so passionate in empowering purpose-driven leaders, and especially women actually, to believe in themselves, in their value, and also to step up confidently to share their mission to the world. So on my journey, I've interviewed quite a lot of successful entrepreneurs and consultant professionals, and I've documented my learning in the book that you see just in front of you. That was my first book, called Personal Branding in the Digital Age: How to Become a Known Expert, Thrive, and Make a Difference in a Connected World. And it's available on Amazon, iTunes, Audible, everywhere. And also on my website, you have the digital version of the website with some goodies on francinebailly.com/book. So this book actually just have those 7 pillars that you're going to see very briefly in a short while. But something unexpected happened when I went around speaking about those 7 pillars, training and mentoring clients to develop their unique brands as well. I realized that I was creating a movement, and my work impacted thousands of entrepreneurs and organizations worldwide through keynote speeches and workshop, mentoring, training program, etc. So, and I am now on a mission, clear mission, to empowering purpose-driven entrepreneurs, founders, and business leaders to really increase their visibility, trust, and profitability. So, and my program range from an hour like today, for example, to many days and many months as well. So, and I do deliver also program for teams, for individuals as well, and for a whole organization. So personal branding has really opened me quite a lot of doors. So this is my official bio. So my name is Francine Bailly, and I'm a digital and change strategist. I'm bilingual, French and English, and I'm expert in personal branding and professional branding. I'm the founder of Nucleus of Change, which is a consultancy to help people to really go and thrive in the digital age. And I'm also a mentor, an international speaker, a corporate trainer, an author, and a founding member of AWEC, which is an organization, I think perhaps some of you may know that, who actually train 200 women each year in Africa and in the diaspora as well. And I'm a host of a podcast called Meaningful Work, Meaningful Life Podcast. And overall, I have 25 years of experience in IT, project finance, and so many other business skills. So, and I'm also the co-author of a book called Africa Digital Corporation that was published last year. And it was published by Routledge. And there is the chapter 16 is about fostering prosperity for African women entrepreneurs. So you can download that for free if you Google that. If you Google the title, the chapter 16, you can get it for free. So what actually now is, when we talk about the digital marketing landscape, what do we mean by that? So digital marketing is actually is all that encompasses, using digital channels, platforms, and strategy to promote products, services, and brands, and also to engage with a targeted audience. And I mean, the keyword here is targeted audience. It's not everybody. You have to define specific. You're going to hear me quite throughout this talk talking specifically about targeted audience. This is very important, especially when you're in the digital marketing world. You need to be targeted. You need to target who you are talking to. Otherwise, it's just going to go in the void. So it includes this range of online marketing techniques and tactics that aim to drive website traffic, generate leads, and boost conversion and sales as well. So in other words, it's all about leveraging the digital world to grow your business or your venture, your initiative, whatever you have to promote, and connect with your customer in a meaningful way. So that's what digital marketing is all about. We move from what was traditional marketing, which was much more like a broadcasting tool to a much more world where now we are really much more targeting our people very specifically. So digital marketing actually plays a really crucial role in today's business landscape because it provides really significant benefits for business owners and organization leaders. So here are some key reasons why digital marketing is important. The first one is that it helps you to increase your reach and your visibility, because digital marketing, as I said earlier, it helps you to reach a global audience that's quite targeted and really expand your market beyond traditional boundaries. If you are in Zambia, for example, you can go now beyond Zambia by just sitting in your room. So you don't have to get out there to target the world, to have the whole world at the click of your mouse, right? So you can really, access a wide market through online channels, and so many other things. And the second thing that it helps you to do is, again, having a targeted audience engagement. So because it allows you to be very precise in who you are targeting, you can really look at specific segments, specific demographic of people, specific interests, specific behavior, specific preference, specific everything. So this level of targeting actually ensures that marketing efforts are really directed toward those who are most likely to be interested in the product or service that you offer. And that leads you to a higher conversion rate and return on investment. And it's also a cost-effective way actually to do to use digital marketing compared to traditional marketing. I don't know about you, but I'm from Togo originally, but if you actually go in some places, it is very, very expensive to do traditional marketing and using traditional channel like TV, radio, etc. But with the digital marketing, you can do this at a fraction of the cost because most tools are quite available, sometimes for free or for a minimal cost. So, your online advertising also, you can just specifically target a specific place and set a flexible budget for that. You can monitor your campaign in real time and make adjustment as you need. You don't have to pull off the whole campaign that you have on the TV to say, oh no, there was something that was wrong, so therefore I have to pull off the whole thing. You can just change as you go. This is very, very cost effective. And it also gives you some measurable results and some analytics, because now with digital marketing, you have all kind of tools at your disposal to really track and measure the effectiveness of your marketing efforts. So, and these really help you to really optimize your strategy as well. And another thing is that to enhance also customer interaction and engagement, because today this is no longer about broadcasting, it's about engagement and interaction with your market. And the social media platform and all those digital marketing tools out there are actually designed to help you do that. And that actually fosters customer loyalty, and it builds brand trust, and it creates also quite a lot of opportunity to get feedback and get like strong relationship with your audience as well. And obviously it improves conversion and sales, because with digital marketing techniques now, you have all kind of tools that we're going to see in a moment, a few of them. There are tons of them, right? In this webinar, I'm going to share with you a fraction of what is out there. That is going to help you to really achieve your results, generate lead, boost conversion, and sales. Because once you can now target specific audience, you can really personalize also those messages and enhance the chance of converting prospects. It also gives you a competitive advantage to be doing the digital marketing, because with organizations that leverage this digital channel, you can now outperform your competitors who are out there not using any digital tools. So if you are using the digital marketing properly and know how to do it in the way that it brings you result, you will establish yourself as, you know, a leader, and then you can gain a lot of market share. So here briefly is some of the benefit that digital marketing actually provides you today, and is no longer an option. Digital marketing is not an option because it's a necessity, as we've seen, all those benefits that you can see. Using that versus going and using other channels is going to give you quite a lot of benefits and also achieve your long-term business goals. So now let's have a look at the landscape. You know, the landscape, this is just, you know, some of the key aspects of the digital marketing today. We have so much tools out there, but we can actually make sense of those tools and give that a and give them a different strategy. Let me move this thing here so then I can see also the wide scape. So yes, on your left hand side, you can start to see social media marketing, right? When we talk about social media marketing, we think about how you can develop an engaging post on social media, how you can use relevant hashtag, how you can use also targeted ads, and collaborate also with influencers, and the UGCs also gets user-generated, user-generated content. So social marketing is one of the things that we use in digital marketing to achieve a specific result. In a moment, I'm going to share which tool to use for what. But for now, this is the landscape. Then we have content marketing. So content is all about creating information. So to have a lot of pedagogy actually for your customer, and really do that with a content calendar that we use, creating blog videos and, you know, sharing success stories, interviews, educational content, events, and leverage also other people's audience. This is OPA. And then we have search engine optimization that comes with, it's called SEO, and it comes with using the right keywords in what you actually produce out there, and how you can optimize anything you produce, specifically your website, using some tools, for example, like Google Keyword Planner to do those. And then we have another bunch of method that is email marketing. So email marketing is also one of the key things that works well. People sometimes say that email marketing doesn't work. It does work because it helps you to build a relationship with your audience that actually opt in to receive the information that you want to offer them. So therefore, you have to be building your emailing list, having some lead magnets out there. Lead magnet is anything that you put out there for people to give you their emails. So you can send out those newsletters monthly, weekly, quarterly, whatever, and share quite a lot of offers and stories as well. And then we have what we call collaboration and partnership, because in the digital world, you know, there are a lot of people out there that serve the same audience as you that you can partner with. So there are influencers, those can be top leaders, and other relevant organizations that to offer complementary skills or complementary offer to you that you can cross promote and actually merge both your list, your audience, to reach bigger audience. So you can use collaboration for that. And then we also have what we call online PR, you know, public relation and reputation management. It's all about monitoring your brand, your online presence, and managing these public relation efforts and maintain that positive reputation. So some of the tools that you can do that, you can use to do that include Google Alerts, include Mention, and Sprout Social. And so we have all the paid advertising landscape. There's quite a lot out there. So I just put a few here: Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads. All those social platforms have an ad anyway embedded within their platform that you can use actually to target more of your customers. But you don't do paid advertising unless you know exactly who you are talking to. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of money. So paid advertising is when you have a clear idea that you have a targeted audience, and then your message and your product, you have reached this product market fit, that's when you get to the paid advertising. And we have the analytics and tracking. That is another kind of bunch of stuff that you can use in your digital marketing landscape to actually see whether your effort is achieving their goals. And some tools include Google Analytics, and all the social platforms also have their native analytic tools, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. There is an analytic tools that you can see how your posts are performing. So then you know what actually works and what doesn't work. And then you have also Hotjar, which is much more to look at the behavior of your customer when they visit your website. You see some heat map going on your website, and you know that people prefer going here than there, and then you can optimize also your website. So this is, broadly speaking, and very high level, the digital marketing landscape. So now there are steps actually when it comes to wanting to create your digital marketing strategy, because you don't just wake up this morning and say, oh, let me post this thing. No, we need to have a clearly defined digital marketing that is going to drive our organization. And how do we do this? The first thing, obviously, is to have some business objective, which means, what do you want to achieve? It's funny telling this like that I start with that, because a lot of people don't know what they want to achieve. They just do this, that, and the other, but have no clear understanding of what they want to achieve. So it is going to be especially crucial for you to start with the end in mind, which means what? Why are you, looking to achieve also, what are you going to achieve with your digital marketing strategy? Is it sales? So if it's sales, so what kind of increase or that you want? You need that, all those things need to be written. Sales, if it's sales that you want to increase your annual turnover, for example, or perhaps you want to use customer retention, perhaps you want to retain customers, perhaps you have enough clients and they just keep going, there is quite a lot of churn, but you can use, it can be your goal to increase the customer retention, 20%, whatever, of returning customers. It may be also that you want to get more engagement, for example, of your followers, for example, LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, whatever. So that should be written down. What is your objective? It can be brand awareness. That means being visible to your ideal audience. That means to know exactly who that audience is, obviously. And or it can be customer evangelism, get your clients to refer you to new clients. Or it can be just generating leads, which means that you may want to increase your lead generation each month or each week or whatever. So your goals, your business objective need to be clear. That is the very first thing. If you don't have that, I will invite you today to sit down. If you take anything from here, is to be clear of your business objective. So, and do that actually, because it's going to serve you. The second thing is that you need to know who your audience is. If you tell me that everybody is your audience, this is the wrong answer. Because there is a lot of customers out there who are looking for specific product that satisfy their needs. So if you are not talking to your customer needs, you are not talking to anyone. So therefore, your message is going to just be out there. So make sure that you know who your audience is. What they are looking for, because they are on multiple channels looking for different things. So you need to know what actually they are looking for and how you can leverage social media to connect with them. And the third thing is how to align your customer needs and your objective. Of course, now when you know your customers' needs, now you can align both objectives. You can see, okay, this is my organization objective, this is the customer needs. So how can I align this? So this means that you need to do a little bit of digging to find out what actually your customers are looking for. You can do those things by keywords. and searching some keywords of what your domain is all about, using keywords planner as I showed you earlier to do some search, and also looking at social listening, looking on social media and see what people are talking about. You can survey them, obviously, talk to them to find out what actually they are looking for, because that is very, very important. Because if you don't know what they are looking for, you can't serve them and your message is not going to resonate. So that's very key. And then the fourth one is to create a roadmap. Actually, once you align with objective and you know exactly which kind of content you're going to create, now you are creating your roadmap to guide you to achieve your objectives. So this is really how actually you know that this is going to be what I'm going to do. So, okay, if my objective is for brand awareness, this is what I'm going to do to achieve my goals. And then you're going to use the number 5 actually to help you in your roadmap, actually by using the selected tools that is going to help you in your roadmap as well. So that is very, very important to know those 5 steps before getting out there to produce anything, because it's going to inform your overall strategy. So now, when obviously you have some goals, how do you know which tools to select? So here is like, again, a map of what you need to think about when, depending on your needs, obviously, and your objectives, and also your target audience and the available resources that you have, because some people may have a lot of resources, others not. So there are several digital marketing tools out there, tons of them, millions. But again, this is a high-level indications of what you can look for. For example, this one is brand awareness. If that is your objective, if your objective is to make sure that your brand is well known and a lot of people see that, you can use a lot of social media platform, all of them, not all of them at the same time, but again, see where your ideal customer is most on, and then using those to connect them, having one primary channel and then some secondary channel. And search engine optimization is going to be one of the tools actually as well that you're going to use. Content marketing is going to be that good, because you're going to use that to educate your customers or your prospects to become a customer. And that includes posts, blog posts, video, podcasts, infographics, ebooks, etc. And then you're going to also use influencer marketing by being one yourself or by partnering with other people. So, and now if you are looking to generate leads, for example, what you can do is obviously using email marketing, because it's very difficult to sell to people out there in the mass. But once they have opted in to come in your domain, in your email list, then you can pursue the relationship and offer things. So some example of email marketing software out there, MailChimp is one of the most popular ones, and there are tons others as well. And then you have also obviously to have some landing pages. Landing page is somewhere where you have some offers that you put, like sales page and things like that. So you have to have those things. You can use your own website, or you can use specific websites, software to do that, like Unbounce or lead pages to do that. And you need to produce a lot of lead magnets, because people are not just going to give you their email for nothing. So they are giving their email because they want something in return. So it can be some ebook, white paper, webinar video, and PDFs. And it can be quizzes. Quiz is also one of the fastest ways to grab people's email, because people love playing with kids and personalized tests or those things. And then we have sales conversion, if that is your objective. Of course, now you need to have a customer relationship management system, a CRM, we call them. Salesforce or HubSpot. HubSpot, they have also like free version that you can use for the first few thousand of your entries. You have marketing automation tools. You have MailChimp that can do that. Say Zapier, which is also can do quite a lot of automation for you. You can use ActiveCampaign, and you can also use a lot of retargeting ads on platforms like Google Ads, Facebook Ads. And then now, if the client loyalty is your objective, what do? You just go to grab customer loyalty and rewards and have personalized email marketing. Obviously, you need now to segment your database of those emails that you got and see that these people, this category of people, this is the kind of thing that they love. So therefore, I'm not going to send men a discount about women's kind of, products, right? So you need to know who is who to do some targeting or segmenting that makes sense. So then you can have like a specific offer for them. And then you also need to look at social listening tools like Hootsuite and Sprout Socials that actually helps you to really understand what actually makes people tick and what makes them coming back and for more. So those are some of the things that you can look at when it comes to selecting the right digital tools to achieve your objectives. Now, there is a problem though, because there is actually in this world a problem of trust, especially in online. I don't know about you, but some of people have been burned with some people who promise the moon and deliver peanuts. So there is a trust crisis, but not just online. To be fair, is in the world in general. People actually do not trust people anymore. So people actually don't trust media. They don't trust government. They don't even trust much NGOs to help them solve their problems. So, but they do actually know that there is a good business actually. Some business actually are stepping up on societal issues, especially that was really visible during the pandemic, when actually before the pandemic in 2022, the Elderman report had said that nobody was seen as trusted by the people they surveyed. But in 2021, businesses found to become the most trusted people because they are stepping up on societal issues. So business who are willing to take care and inspire their clients with new sets of possibilities are winning. So this is why the fastest way to build and achieve that is by creating a trustful, purposeful brand that people are going to love because they know that whatever you say, you actually deliver that. This is really key actually in the digital world today, to be seen as a trusted leader, because people are going to buy from you rather than from your competitor. And the fastest way to achieve this is by creating a purposeful brand, as I say, and become a visible leader. So you as a founder, if you're not online yet, if you're not visible, and you just put your organizations out there, you are missing on to one thing, is the trust factor, because people don't know who you are. If they don't know who you are not going to create bonds with people. So if I ask you, for example, who is the boss of Zappos, you know that is Tony Hsieh, right? I ask you, who is the boss of Facebook? You're going to say Mark Zuckerberg. Ask who is Alibaba, you might say, what's his name again? I forgot his name. Who can type the name of Alibaba? Alibaba, founder, and Microsoft, Virgin, etc. So you know the name of all those people, right? So, but when people think about you and your company, do they immediately call your name? Are you known in your industry? When you are not visible, nobody knows that you even exist. So they can't find you. Your impact is limited only to that small number of people. But when you are visible, you are, now a someone who is trusted, because you come with this well-defined purpose, you have this unique perspective that your competition cannot replicate, because people rally around that purpose. And that's what becomes your brand. Because in today's highly connected world, you got to say why you care before people care for you as well. So you need to add this touch, this human touch, especially in this era of AI where machines do everything. So who are we as human? How are we showing up as human in our business to make this trust, very, very powerful? So we can no longer remain a faceless organization. If this is what you do, this is the time to stop. So now, this is why personal branding now should be seen as an economic tool. Here's why. Because when you develop a powerful personal branding, you are likely to be better paid than someone without a brand. Because if you think about that, you are likely to pay much more money for your favorite brand of makeup or your airline or your whatever than any other thing, because you have developed that emotional bond with that brand. And then you also are found by people who need your service or expertise. You become that credible source of information in your field. And personal branding also helps you to attract more opportunities, more talent, because when you have built or you have this really strong magnetic personal brand, people want to come and work for you, even for less than they can go and work for somebody else, because they know that they can learn from you. So this is really, really important to understand to achieve your goals faster. And you are trusted also by your prospect or anyone that you're meeting, because I don't know about you, but me, when I don't know anybody, when somebody sends me a message, what do? I Google the person. If somebody Googles you, what would they find? Are you going to be trusted by what they found? So this is important. And when you are also positioned as the go-to expert or go-to person in your niche, you also can command premium pricing. You can charge much more than somebody without any brands. When you see a generic brand and you see a brand that is well-known, obviously the well-known brands command higher price. And also it allows you to reduce your marketing cost. Again, because you are increasing your brand loyalty. And products and services can be copied, but brands cannot be replicated by competition at all. So that is another reason why you should build that brand. And you have also this range of digital assets like books, courses, and info product that you have produced that also make money whilst you sleep. So this is another good reason for you to really build your personal brand. So when you look at some of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time, whether they are professionals, an executive, an entrepreneur, you will see that they have one thing in common. They have built a strong personal brand that they leverage to build their business. So we all have a personal brand by design or by default, but what the most successful people do is to be deliberate with how they want to show up. So a strong personal branding removes the ambiguity, because people know what you stand for and are likely to follow you. So if you look at these slides, I don't know if you can really see the slides. We can see that on the top there's Richard Branson, who is the boss of the Virgin Group. He's a British billionaire. So if you notice on this slide, you see Richard Branson, who is on the top. Both are their Instagram accounts of Richard Branson and Virgin. So what do you see? I don't know if I can see the chat. Can somebody in the chat tell me what you see? Jack Ma, yes. Thank you. You were following. Yes, I wasn't looking at the chat earlier. So yes, so tell me what you see on this slide of Richard Branson and Virgin. Can somebody type what they can see that jump out of in their in their face? What do you see? Can anyone see something on the slide? He's following his way higher. Oh la la, Tato. Yes, that's it. He's following his way higher than the business. That's it. Yes. You know, he has 4.8 million followers versus 240 for his global brand around the world. And the same you can see here. If I can share with you this one, what do you see here? For Tony Elumelu. Tony Elumelu is a Nigerian billionaire. What do you see here? Can you see something different than Richard Branson? What do you see? For Tony Elumelu is on the top, and his company with Heads Holding, which is underneath. What can you see here? Anyone? We can see the same thing.
Naomi has commented there in the chat. Naomi is saying he has more followers.
He has more following. Yeah, he has more following as well. So Tony Elumelu has 1.2 million, and his big conglomerate that is doing billion has only 61,800. So, you know, and then we can see the same thing for Bonang Mateba, who is a South African media personality as well. She has 5 whopping million followers versus her whole ventures with 94.5, thousand. So what actually would you say that now Richard Branson, his following is 20 times more than Virgin, Tony Elumelu 20 times as well, and Bonang Mateba, she has 53 times more followers than her venture. So my question is that why the personal brand attracts more followers than the commercial brands? Can somebody type in the chat? Why is that? Why personal branding attracts more followers than commercial brands? Because the personal branding is more real. Yes, yes, yes. Because simply that is really fun to say, but I can see also something else. People connect with people. Yes, exactly. Tato, have you been in my webinar before? What? People connect with people. That is it. People connect with people. People buy from people. Richard Branson, the man, inspires more confidence than the business brands. And he can use his personal brand to communicate his business message, which will be received way, way favorably than just using his commercial brand. So this is the reason why you as a leader should all have a strong personal brand, because you've seen those followers, and the same is true everywhere across the globe. Wherever I go, there is the same thing. If you have a personal brand versus a business brand, you're going to see people are going to follow you as a person much more than your brand. However, you can still use your personal brand to actually communicate your business message. This is what they are doing. This is why social is called social and not commercial network. It's called social network for some reason, because people want to be social. People want to have some kind of social relationship, right? So this is extremely important to know. What if you could speak directly to thousands of fans who are eager to hear from you? And what if these fans become ambassadors for your company because they love your ideas and your vision? And what if your ideal customers were willing to relay your information, your message to their friends and their network? Personal branding allows you to do all these things. So now, let's say what personal branding is, but before I'll tell you what it's not. Yes, I can see Claudia say personal and emotional significance. Yes. So personal branding, what is not? Because there are a lot of misconceptions out there what personal branding is all about. So this is why I just want to tell you what it's not before I tell you what it is. It is not self-promotion, just not that. It is not bragging. It's not being someone you're not. It is not being vain. and it is certainly not posting selfies on social media. So if that's not what personal branding is about, what it is? It is actually a process. Personal branding is a process of communicating who you are, your vision, what you stand for, and why people should care. It's not an event, it is something that you do every single time. You show up as such. So it is really a strategic way of positioning yourself to attract who you want to work with in order to achieve your goals and impact others. This is why I talk about personal branding. I always say personal branding for impact. So we don't just go and just brag or just post some irrelevant thing. It's all about sharing who we are in order to impact others. And there are 3 phases in this order, not the other way around. First, you need to identify who you are. Second, articulate before communicating. I see again people do the other way around. Start communicating and say, oh my gosh, what should I be saying again? Let me try to figure out. And then they still haven't figured out who they are themselves. So do that in this order. First, you identify. Second, you articulate, and then you communicate. So you say, yeah, but how do you go about building that authority? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this is the 7 steps. This is going to be a very high level. I'm not going to go into the detail because it's all in the book. And when I run longer sessions, I really details what each pillar is all about. Here is just to give you the context of why within your digital marketing strategy, your personal branding should be part of it as well. And the first pillar is know yourself. Know yourself is really like the foundation of your personal branding, because this is what is going to give you credibility. Is at the end of this pillar, if you look in the book, you're going to see that I ask people to create their own personal mission statement. So this is what actually guides you as your North Star. It includes your mission, your vision, your values, and your standards as well in life, what you accept and what you don't accept. So at the end of the first pillar, you are crystal clear. You have identify, remember the 3 steps, identify, articulate before communicate. So you are clear and you have identified how you want to show up, who you are or who you want to become. So the pillar number 2 is master your expertise, because without real expertise, no one cares about what you have to say. Sorry about that, but that's true. You have to master your expertise, especially in this AI world. How are you going to master your expertise? You need to keep updating your skills and make sure that all the changes, you are updated. What used to work perhaps before COVID has changed after COVID or has been updated. How are you going to stay relevant in your field? So this is what the pillar number 2 is all about, especially also if you have multiple skills and passion. I show a concept called ikigai that you can use, which is a Japanese concept you can use to actually see the intersection of what you love, what you are skills at, and what you can be paid for, to actually determine that skills. And then the pillar number 3 is know your audience. This is key as a pillar, very, very key, because you don't do personal branding in a vacuum. It's for a specific audience. And this is actually understanding who your ideal customer is, creating this avatar. You may have heard about avatar and customer persona. This is where we define who that person is. We go inside to really understand the deepest thing in that. And what are their priorities? How you can make an impact for them, and which problem you are solving. Because usually people lead with their solutions and they don't care about what's the problem. But actually, when you start doing this empathy map and creating this avatar, you understand that actually it's best to speak to my customer problem than leading with my solution, because they are going to resonate with that. And the pillar number 4 is lead your niche. So what is your niche? What specific niche you are in that you want to be known for? what is the promise to your customer? So what's actually you promise the customer that when they come to you, this is what I'm going to give you. So you need to create what I call your value proposition and your USP in this pillar to actually go out there and compete in your ecosystem. Obviously, you also need to understand who is in the ecosystem and how different you are from them. And the pillar number 5 is control your image. Okay, control your image is just the visual representation of who you are and the values that you have determined in the pillar number 1. Usually people, when they hear personal branding, they think about is about image. No, image is not your personal branding. Image is just one of the pillars. So you take the visual, the values that you determine in the first pillar, and now you show how you are expressing visually those values. That means that which kind of colors actually that you are going to choose that is going to reflect and being spotted very quickly. What's your personality, what's your style, your tone of voice, which energy, you want people to experience with you, which object or symbols actually best reflect who you are. So think about that. And the pillar number 6 is connect with empathy. Empathy is very, very important. It's not about authenticity. Here, we are not authentic when you are connecting. This is one of the biggest mistakes also people do, is that they connect with authenticity. We know some of the rough leaders out there who connect with authenticity. When you are connecting with your audience that you want to impact, you do this with empathy, right? So because great leaders are storytellers. So, when you think of Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs, etc., when they communicate, they put themselves in the shoes of their customers. So if you don't know what your customers are looking for and you don't use the language that is going to connect with them, you might as well stay at home. So now in this pillar, this is what you're going to learn how to do. Streamline your message to communicate to your different audience that there. So, and this is also where you're going to look at the key channel of communications, that digital channels that you're going to use to connect with them. And the pillar number 7 is build your community. So there is an African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go fast, far, go together. So here, you take your brand to the next level with your success network, as I call that. So you need to look up, you need to look down, and you need to look across. I call that across. That means that you look up, you look down, and you look across. Who is up there? Your bosses, your mentors, your champions. Who is down? People who are coming underneath, the juniors, and across the peers. This is the pillar to look at that. And some allies. Who are your allies that are going to help you on your journey? So here is really very much a high-level view of the 7 pillars. If you want to read more and have more examples, stories, etc., grab the book at francinebailly.com/book, or get to my other programs as well to go in depth with that. Now that we have finally seen that, let's look at how artificial intelligence is going to help us to move a bit faster with what actually we need to achieve, because artificial intelligence is not there just for the vacuum though, it's there as a tool. Again, it's here as a tool to help us in our objective. You need to use the tools exactly as they are intended. So there is one slide that I love, which comes from the South by SaxWorks that I love. You can see on the left-hand side all the industries that are impacted by AI. All of them are green. So that means that everybody is touched by AI today. Even if you don't know it, you are touched. Whatever you are doing, AI is disrupting, AI is being used, and you can also leverage AI to do this. Today, I'm not going to talk about AI in the bigger sense, because I want to focus that into what is our goals here, which is much more like digital marketing, and some of the tools, or one of the two tools that actually we use now to go faster. So one of the things that I also wanted to show you is this, because it only takes a minute to an AI to do what actually takes, how long it takes? It takes like more than 300 minutes to a human to design the same graphic. So you can see how, you can save time by using AI as an assistant. It's not going to replace, because some people are saying, hey, AI is, yes, definitely AI is going to replace some of the repetitive tasks. But again, this is all about being a human. This is about using AI to augment who you are and what you're doing. There is a slide that I use usually when I do longer sessions, where I show people the evolution of how we move from technology to AI and how we all have adapted from age to age. Obviously, some jobs have moved. When we were in agricultural age, those jobs that we had moved when we came to industrial age. When we moved to the digital age, those jobs also have moved on and some have appeared. The same thing is going to happen in AI age. So some of the tools, the tasks that are routine, that are not adding much value to human, are going to be replaced by something that is much more meaningful. So AI should be also used and think about as a tool, not as a replacement. That means obviously that if your job is going to be impacted by AI, you know how to move forward very quickly to add some more insight or skills to your tools. So here are some ways that we use. We've heard perhaps about what ChatGPT is all about, which is a system out there, an artificial intelligence out there that is used at the moment to create so many things. So some of the things that AI is helping people to do, for example, and how we use that is much more inside let's go back up there. Yeah, let's go back here. Yeah, here. So yes, so one of the things that we use AI for is definitely for ideation. So how do you use AI to build your to create some ideas? So it's really interesting. So if I did have a bit more time, I would have created a demo for you to actually see. I do that when we have longer sessions. So obviously in 45 minutes, if I start to do that, we're going to take all our time to do this. So it's not going to be useful. So let's move this thing. So yes, brainstorming titles. So you can use AI for ideation, which is brainstorming titles when it comes to creating a title, headlines for your article, for your post, and everything, even books. You can also use ChatGPT to explore content niches to check which kind of niches is going to be better. And you can obviously use it to create, ideas, original idea. You can obviously also use ChatGPT for SEO purpose, using keywords, using asking to generate some keywords that you can explore, and then you can check with Google Planner if those keywords are some of the things that people are looking for, and to suggest that, and use that also for backlink analysis, and also to generate content. This is what actually people do around those niche topics that you want to be known for. And the bigger thing that people are using ChatGPT for now is for content generation, using it for blog posts, social media caption, and then post, and then also a lot of email marketing. And you can also use it to personalize, for personalization, to adapt your tone and writing style. I'm going to share with you a few examples in a moment of what we are talking about as well. And then you can use it for multi-language support. So probably people like me who are bilingual, so sometimes I type in French and I tell him to type, translate it back in English or the other way around, depending on which country I'm in. It's very, very useful to do that. And then also to tailor your content for different audiences. So if you are talking to corporate versus entrepreneur, you can do that very quickly and tell ChatGPT, just write that down for this specific audience, and it's going to do that. So it's very, very important, interesting what you can do actually with ChatGPT. So there is actually something called prompt engineering when it comes to use ChatGPT. Coming from this IT background, if you are also having some IT background there, you know that the first thing that you learn when you do some computer science school, they tell you about GIGO. GIGO means garbage in, garbage out. So that means that if you ask a wrong question to ChatGPT, the only thing you're going to get is a wrong answer. So you need to be able to create the right way to ask the question to get a quality prompt, a quality answer. A quality prompt will give you a quality answer. So this is what prompt engineering is all about. It's creating those quality prompts that is going to help you to interact with those language models like ChatGPT. And the quality of the prompt is essential to obtain accurate and relevant answers. For those who haven't created yet a ChatGPT account, you can see how you can create an account. If you haven't done yet, you can go to chat.openai.com. It's very simple. You just enter your email and then start playing, with some of the things that we're going to see in a moment. So I put that in red. Some of the things that you need to be thinking about when you create those quality prompts. You need to be clear and precise. You need to provide context. I'm going to share a bit with you in a moment. You need to be also providing sometimes some concrete example. If ChatGPT is a bit confused, sometimes it gives you some red results, and then you don't know how you explain that better. So you can give example to explain that. You can give some level of detail. You can obviously test and iterate if the answer is not what you are looking for. And also you need to be mindful that ChatGPT has a lot of bias, or like AI has a lot of bias. Why? Because of people have trained this model. If people have trained this model, have themselves some biases, you can find those same biases within this artificial intelligence, which is why everybody has got to be involved in AI, because if everybody is involved, we are going to limit the biases. That means like Africans, people of colors, women, all those people who are not involved massively in tech in general today, those people need to be interested as well. So to make sure that we get like a better AI in the future, because it has got a lot of biases. And also you have to double check the output, because ChatGPT never ever take what it gives you as a gospel, because you assume that this is not a totally correct answer, but you need to make sure that you double check. If you're an expert and you put something you know that is not correct, and then you can guide it. But if you're not an expert and you just take what ChatGPT gives you as a gospel, so be careful with that. You need to double check the sources, because ChatGPT doesn't cite its source. That's one of the biggest thing to improve, because we don't know where it comes. So all the sources are equal for them. So in the past, we can go with more authoritative source to check that this information is verified, accurate. But ChatGPT can just merge all kind of sources together and give you an answer very confidently, but you don't know that this is the wrong answer. So be very, very careful with what it gives you. However, having said that, it's very, very useful to do a lot of things that I'm going to share with you in a sec. For some prompt engineering examples, so I'm going to share with you a few of them. There might be a ton of other way of looking at that in there. So the first thing I said earlier is to be very specific. So when I mean specific, is being relevant and having details, to add some detailed information in there. A bad prompt can be like, just tell me about digital marketing. If you just put that as a prompt, it is not that it's bad per se, but it's not very improved, very optimized prompt. You can improve improve that by saying you are a marketing guru. This is the prompt that you type into ChatGPT. That means that you give a role to ChatGPT. So because there is millions of information out there, so that when you tell ChatGPT which role to play, it comes already and okay, so I'm not a butcher here, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a marketer. So already it's set the focus to the right area that ChatGPT is going to take the answer from. So you say you are marketing with 10-year experience because you want actually, to be someone who has more experience than a newbie. And then you say, okay, write a brief history of digital marketing focusing on major milestones. That can be one of the things. You can be also giving some context, which means including relevant background info. That means like a bad prompt can be explain how to make a website popular, and a good prompt can be explain the role of search engine optimization in improving a website organic traffic and online visibility. You see how you give more context to that. And also think of using open-ended questions. Means that encourage also thoughtful and comprehensive response by asking this open-ended question, not a question that can be answered by yes or no. Don't say, is artificial intelligence bad? ChatGPT may say yes, and that's it. But you just can say, in what way artificial intelligence has impacted our daily life and industry? Please provide examples. So this is much more open-ended question. And the format, you can also specify the design format or perspective for the response. So it can be, you can ask a ChatGPT to provide you a list or to give you a debate or a specific point of view, whatever. So a bad example can be, tell me about email marketing and content marketing. A much more improved one can be, write a persuasive essay arguing for the benefits of email marketing over content marketing. So now it knows in which kind of format that you want your answer. Another bit that you can look at is also to give a limited word count. So if you are looking for something very short, tell them, in 50 words, in 200 words, for example, to encourage concise and focused answers. So a bad one can be just explain the difference between email marketing and content marketing. A good one can be in 200 words or less, explain the key difference between email marketing and content marketing to increase sales. You see how actually you can be quite specific and at the same time, be focused and concise. Use example, as I was saying earlier. If ChatGPT is struggling sometimes with your commands, give it some example. For example, if you write a short story about how I used to be bullied in school and then decided to stand up for myself, and then ChatGPT is going to start, once upon a time, there was a boy, there was a girl, but this is also what we were looking for. You just say, okay, Willie, make sure that you start this story, at least even before you repeat the same command, but you say using the story arc. The story arc is a way of doing a storytelling. And then you say, to make a story compelling, start the story with when I was a kid. And you put that in bracket and then it's going to know that, okay, I need to start the story with when I was a kid. So it's a way of really making sure that ChatGPT understands and gives you the right thing. And specific tone as well. You can indicate the desired tone that you want for your response as well. Do you want it formal? You remember in the pillar number 5, I was telling you about your expression, how you express yourself. Do you want to be a formal, informal, humorous, academic? What's your style? Your specific tone. So just plain one can be just saying, write a review of the book Personal Branding in the Digital Age, or say, write an informal review of the book Personal Branding in the Digital Age, focusing on the framework. Yannick, this is the 7th step I told you earlier. describe in the book and the case studies, and then it's going to give you something less. But if you want the tone to be, or the style to be more academic, you can say, write an academic review. It's going to be different. The output is going to give you versus an informal one. So you see how you can use that to really make sure that you get exactly what you want. And then another thing is just encourage creativity. Again, you can just tell ChatGPT to think out of the box. So just saying, describe a day in the life of an avatar, for example, want to stay younger, maybe quite, unprecise, but just let it go. Say, imagine an extraordinary world where people possess the ability to retain eternal youth. Paint an interaction, a vivid picture of a day in the life of such an avatar, highlighting their experience, aspiration, and interaction within a society that thrives on an everlasting youth. And take all this data and upsell them on something that this person is most likely to buy. It's likely rather than like, is most likely to buy. So you can see that actually you can just be out of the sky there, having out, blue sky thinking, and get also ChatGPT to think out of the box, to come up with something that is going to be unique to you, actually, that nobody else is going to think that way. So when people are saying that ChatGPT gives the same answer, that's because you may be giving generic prompt again. So you need to be creative also in the prompt that you are generating to get actually a good answer back. Here is something that I've used, but I'm not talking about that. DALL-E is another product of ChatGPT family, because ChatGPT is actually created with OpenAI. The company is OpenAI. OpenAI also owns DALL-E. There is another vision one called Midjourney as well, but DALL-E is quite also in the OpenAI kind of family. And this is just an example of how I created a logo for my each year I do provide like the 20 inspirational African professional women, a list that comes on International Women's Day. And this year, actually, I wanted to update the logo, but I didn't want somebody to design that logo because I have something specific in mind, but I wasn't sure that if I just brief somebody, he's going to give me. I said, let me go on to DALL-E and just play myself and see what he's going to come up with. You can see in the middle where I started, you just give an instruction exactly like ChatGPT. You say, create the palm of a Black woman holding a 3D map of Africa map and show her head nicely manicured. This is what I had in mind. This is how I wanted the logo to look like, but out on, design that myself. So therefore I went on to DALL-E to ask the question to DALL-E. And after a few interactions, this is what DALL-E gave me, because after that, it gave me something else. But I wanted the black color and a gold Africa. So I say, no, create a black background color and then add the gold. So you can see how you can play with something and get a logo. So this is my logo now that you can see on the right hand side that I use for this year Inspiration African Diaspora Professional Women's workshop list. So here we have it. So this is really like a very quick summary of how we can use those tools in the digital world that we are today to make sure that we understand our objective and what we want to achieve and use the right tool at the right. It's not because the tool is there that we have to use it. No, just making sure that we understand our objective before picking the right tools to achieve our objectives, right? So now, takeaway we're going to talk about earlier, but you can start typing in the chat actually. What's your key takeaway for today once I'm doing the recap? And then we're going to start doing the Q&A. So here is what we have seen today. We've seen a high-level overview of the digital marketing landscape and how you can select the right digital tools to achieve your objectives, and making sure that you are very crystal clear of what that objective is all about. And we've seen also one of the fastest way to build trust in your organization, which is by building your own personal branding, because you're going to connect at a human level. And now also how you can now leverage AI to create quality content that your audience will love without the overwhelm, because you're going to now having these assistants on your side, which doesn't go on strike, that can produce a lot of different things for you very, very fast. So I hope that this short masterclass has been quite helpful to start really thinking about what it takes to build that digital marketing strategy, and to really be out there and reflect on as a business leader. So now I also wanted to give you a gift, but the gift is not for everybody. It's going to be for 5 people in this webinar, which is a 30-minute complimentary mini brand audit session. And I normally charge $250 for it, but it's going to be for you for free if you are ready actually to build that integrated marketing plan and leverage your personal branding. So if you are, so just go on the website, which is foncinebelay.com/audit, or you can scan this QR code, and so I'll be happy to, you can just schedule your own session, and then we're going to talk in this session where we're going to look at where you are today and where you want to go, and together we're going to create that roadmap actually for you to get there. So thank you for attending this session, and if you have some questions, let me know. I'm here for the next I don't know how many minutes. Yes, and then connect on LinkedIn as well. I'm on LinkedIn, and connect on LinkedIn. So Eunice.
Thank you so much, Francine. We're actually out of time, so we'll probably only take one question, but I did want to interrupt you because there was so much good stuff there, and I know we also gave you a big challenge trying to incorporate all of that information in this short session. I found it a huge valuable, and I was taking notes as well. The one question we can take is the status question in the chat, which is actually similar to something I had, and the question is, with personal branding, how do you create the connection when posting that leads the audience to the business? So because, there is that, we talk about personal branding, you're getting people to connect with the mission, you're authentic, you're building trust. So how do you bring in the business without people thinking like, oh, all this time, they were just trying to sell us something, right? And I think that's a really key, interesting place, building that link. So unfortunately, guys, we're going to have to do one question and then we'll wrap up. Anyone who needs to leave, just because we are exactly at the time we said we'd end, please do go ahead. But we ask that you can stay with us. I think 5-7 more minutes, we should be fully wrapped up. But Francine, can you answer that for us?
Yes. So with personal branding, how can we create a connection when posting that leads our audience to the business? Its objective is to drive sales. Yes, this is again when I was talking about how to align the audience objective with your business objective, because when you are extremely clear about what your customer, your ideal audience needs is, you have done this work beforehand, before you start posting. This is why I say we don't post and then figure out what is the person audience. So if your audience, the tackle who is putting, so we don't have much time, because I was going to workshop her and ask her what's her business, and then provide a little bit more insight, or context to what she does, or he does. I don't know if he's a man or a woman, sorry. So but in general, before we create that, we communicate online, we need to understand, this is where the pillar number 3, know your audience, comes for. When I show you the 7th step, know your audience, you understand what their needs are, and the whole thing is built in. It's not a surprise, because you are actually aligning with that objectives anyway. If somebody's want to go, I don't know, for example, wants their kids, want to educate their kids, for example, to go in a great school, and you are a, let's say, sales coach, or educational coach, you understand what the need was in the first place, and then your Your message always talk to the needs of your ideal audience. This is why it is clear to understand it is key to understand your ideal audience. Therefore, you have understood already what they want to achieve. You cannot be misaligned. Misalignment arrives when you don't understand what they need and then your message doesn't align with them. This is why it's so important. When I went off the pillar number 3, I said this one is really, really key. Understanding what is your audience needs, and then you can align your message to that. So you cannot, and then obviously it's all about, following the customer journey, because when you are educating the person about their needs, there is a content that you are doing that, and then the person is going to get ready at some stage to buy from you, and then your message is going to be, you have this need that you have, that you have already. This is the offer that is going to, help you to resolve this problem. Therefore, I'm offering that for 50 pounds, 700 pounds, 2,000 pounds, whatever. Are you ready to buy it? So it's not about, do you want to buy it? No, are you ready to buy it? So when you have understood the audience needs, that's why it's important to talk to your customer or prospect to understand what's their real need. This is why I said earlier, do not lead with your product, lead with the customer problem and see how what you are offering is answering that problem. That is key. That is very key. So if you do that, you can't be misaligned at all.
Thank you so much. That's really good and really clear. And actually, as you are talking, I'm starting to see some of the people I've seen posting on like LinkedIn, and you start to see that connection. So there's one lady I follow who talks. She set up a new company that sells eco-friendly pregnancy tests, and her topic, her personal branding is all around like supporting people in their fertility journey, staying healthy, the environment. The personal brand is aligned with what she does in her business. If she was talking about fishing and knitting, that may not necessarily connect to her business, right? So you kind of have to also choose maybe topics that you care about, that are authentic to your brand, but can kind of have that connection, make sense as a connection to the business.
Yeah, and that is the biggest mistake a lot of people do. This is why, the all that I was saying, identify, articulate before communicate. I say people usually do the other way around. They start to communicate on their product, whatever, and then they try to match that with people who don't have that need at all. So you can't do that. You have to first understand what people are looking for, and then you align your communication to that. Definitely, okay. You're going to, get so much time to do that. To save so much time. So very, very key. So sorry to take too much time, but yes.
No, it was all very, very good. Yeah, you can already see in the comments. This has exceeded my expectations in terms of what I can learn and be exposed to in a really short period of time. And again, I do apologize, we're a bit over, but we're now going to wrap up. Please join me once again in thanking Francine for sharing her insights with us. We've shared the link to the complimentary audit. I think, Francine, you're saying people should apply to that, and you'll see 5.
People who are ready, they know that they want to go ahead with that, should apply. Only people who are ready, not people who are still thinking about that, but people who are ready, need to apply.
Okay. All right. I have one more request for everyone. Yes. I know you need to leave, but we do, somebody asked in the chat about the certificate of participation. So that is going to be made available for those who complete our evaluation form. So these evaluation forms, like we said, the sessions are free. The only thing we ask is you take 5 minutes to complete this evaluation form for us, so we can know that these sessions are relevant and adding value for you. For those who are asking about the recording is going to be made available on the AfriConEU website and our Academy page. I shared the link earlier in the chat as well, and we can share that again. I don't know if my colleague Patience is there to share the evaluation form links with us, but we will, for those who need to leave, please do leave. I know, Francine, maybe you need to run, so thank you again for your time. But for everyone else, kindly please spare 5 minutes for us this morning to fill out this evaluation form. I'll stay here We'll play some background music to accompany you as you fill it out, and then just let me know in the chat when you're done with your form, so we can sort of see you off and wish you a good day. And for those who fill out the form, wait for a few weeks and you should get your certificate of attendance in your inbox. So thank you once again. Thank you so much, Francine. This has been excellent.
Thank you, Eunice, for inviting me and joining the session as well. See you soon.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does everyone have the links to the form? If not, please do. George, the Patience has just shared the form up above. It's a Google form. Patience, where's our background music as we fill out our forms? I think we can stop the recording as well.
Yes, I'm having internet challenges. So
okay, no problem. Maybe I can play it on my side. If anyone's finished